Dead of night, we're talking middle of the night creepy, and this cult, yeah, a full-on cult, they're not exactly catching Z's. Instead, they're all huddled in some dark, dank cave doing, well, who knows what, but it definitely ain't good. These guys are planning to summon a freaking raven, a dark raven of all things, to wreak havoc on humanity. Their leader, this shady dude, drops blood into a bowl of water, and suddenly it starts boiling like crazy. The moon, the dang moon, turns blood red. This guy slams his hand on a rock, trying to break some kind of seal with his powers. Dust is flying everywhere, and there's this seriously creepy sound with crazy bright, almost electric blue flashes of light. The ground is shaking, and everything is going nuts. Then, out of the dust and smoke, this figure starts to appear. Tall, handsome, but with a pair of black, demonic wings. Okay, so rewind. We're talking thousands of years. There was darkness, a total void. Then, bam, light explodes into existence. This light creates everything. The sky, the oceans, the land, trees, the moon, the sun, animals, everything needed to fill this empty void. Then, the God of Light sent down 12 angels, each with the power of one of the 12 zodiac signs, to the earth. God selected a single human to oversee the 12 angels, lead them to create a harmonious world. The people worshipped light as the creator, a god, and quickly helped the world flourish at an incredible speed. But as the land of light expanded, the land of darkness got smaller. So eventually, darkness created demons and began to eat away at the world. The angels who were granted absolute power by the God of Light protected the world from evil. They sacrificed everything to beat the demons. After countless brutal battles, the angels finally defeated the evil demons. They used their absolute powers to seal the demons inside the gates of hell. And so, peace once again returned. So, these gods started living alongside humans, just walking around in human form. Turns out, even gods gotta pay the bills. They gotta hustle to get paid. So, this traditional East Asian medicine clinic called Tayan, well, on the surface, it's all about healing people. But on the inside, they're running all sorts of businesses, but mostly they're loan sharks. They target people who are desperate for cash, you know? The ones with criminal records, people who've done some shady stuff. Basically, people they can't respect, so they can go hard on them when it's time to collect that debt. So, this one guy, a total gangster named Yong-Soo, he's in jail, but he still can't escape the CEO of the Angel Group, a loan shark that specializes in high-interest loans. This CEO shows up at the prison and demands that Yong-Soo sign over his land as collateral. The reason? He borrowed $1 billion in interest, so a total of $2 billion he can't pay in cash. Yong-Soo is stubborn, putting off the CEO, and says that once he leaves prison, he'll work hard and pay off the debt. If he doesn't, his people will bust down the Angel Group. The CEO says, "In the last 100 years, I've met a lot of people who refuse to pay, and I've never been left hanging." He hangs up and calls his boys to bail out Yong-Soo from prison, knowing he will be in danger once outside. And sure enough, things go exactly according to plan. Men from the financial group get the chance to stretch their legs. They're all fired up and ready to collect Yong-Soo's debt. Now, the CEO is up to his eyeballs trying to get money, and on top of all that, he's getting hassled by the police. These two go way back. They've seen some stuff together. The police are using that connection to try and squeeze a loan out of the CEO of Tayan. The officer is complaining about how little he gets paid and how rough things are. Tayan promises that when he gets the debt collection handled, he'll hook his buddy up. But the truth is, the cop just wants the cash for some designer clothes, not because he is actually poor. At the Tayan clinic, things are getting, let's just say, interesting. This OGWI character is online, pumping out these ads that are so over the top. They scream scam, but somehow the clinic is booming. They're claiming to cure everything under the sun. The only catch, their methods are a little unorthodox, like seriously creepy. Apparently, the head doctor, she's grabbing patients, giving them a quick twist, and poof, they're out cold. OGWI's sweating bullets, telling the doc to take it easy. The other patients, they're making a beeline for the exit, scared stiff. But then, a few minutes later, the patient wakes up, feels amazing, and claims they're cured of some long-term illness. He's thanking the doc like crazy, promising to send all his relatives their way. Before he leaves, OGWI shoves some medicine at him and gives him a weird instruction. From now on, don't eat pork. Pigs are our friends, creatures to love, not to eat. Meanwhile, our cop friend has finished his shopping spree and now he's hanging out at an art gallery, flirting with a girl named Myrrh. She's there, giving a little lecture to some kids about their ancestry, how the God of Light created everything and brought peace to humanity, and how the 12 zodiac gods fought to destroy the dark evil and seal it in the gates of hell. Myrrh refuses to take the clothes, knowing full well that the cop used Tayan's money to buy them. The cop tries to convince her to go home, reunite with her family after 10 years, but she refuses and says goodbye. The cop is wondering what kind of dreams Myrrh has that she can't even tell him about. That night, Yang Su throws a party to celebrate being bailed out. Little does he know who bailed him out and the storm that's coming. Just then, Tae-san calls, revealing that he's the one who got him out. Not only that, but Tae-san's on his way to Yang Su's hideout to wipe out the entire gang for not paying up. Yang Su laughs, bragging that his guys are all hardcore, former boxers who can knock someone out with one punch. The gangsters are yelling and screaming, grabbing weapons, ready to face their debt collector. Then, Tae-san shows up and single-handedly takes down the entire crew in the blink of an eye. Before long, he's mopped the floor with all 10 of Yang Su's henchmen. With business taken care of, he heads into the office to confront Yang Su. Yang Su is finally scared. He quickly opens the safe and starts handing over cash to pay his debt. The gangsters were kneeling on the floor, terrified. Tae-san took all of the cash, jewelry, watches, and even Yang Su's car, and he still wasn't repaid. Tae-san tells Yang Su to sign a paper saying he'll pay off the rest later. From the beginning, he should have listened. On another front, Tae-san's other crew is going to collect a debt from another establishment. They're running a successful gambling den, but they're stiffing the loan sharks. Knowing that the Angel Group won't let it slide, they've set up heavy security. Rumor has it that one of the gang bosses who didn't pay had to escape to Cambodia. Even so, the Angel Group chased him there and had him return to pay his debt. One of the boys is acting all macho, wanting to be the first to break into the place. He's already scaling the wall, moving like a monkey. But two women aren't far behind. Their tempers have been set off. Inside the casino, it's pure chaos. Hundreds of people are gambling, tensions are high, and arguments are breaking out. It's the perfect opportunity for the Angel Group to make their move. In no time, the casino is a total riot. The financial group gets a chance to stretch their muscles, beating the living daylights out of the gangsters. Obviously, these guys are no match for the Angels. The head of the gang knows he's in deep trouble and starts gathering up all the cash to make a run for it. But every move he makes is being watched by the Angel Group. They get the intel and immediately chase after him. Unfortunately for him, on his way out, he bumps right into Duanai's sizable belly. Malsuk, hot on his heels, delivers a flying kick that sends the gang leader straight into dreamland. Looks like the Angel Financial Group lives up to its reputation. They specialize in loaning money to gangsters and the mob, and once you borrow, you can't weasel out of paying. Meanwhile, Tae-san, finding some downtime, stops by the snack shop run by an old, white-haired lady named Jim-soon. Turns out they're old friends. As soon as she sees Tae-san, she's overjoyed, giving him a big hug. They call each other aunt and nephew. When Tae-san was younger, Jim-soon's family was constantly harassed and shaken down by the neighborhood thugs. But Tae-san, being the good guy, stepped in and saved them. After that, the thugs never bothered Jim-soon's family again. Tae-san gave up protecting people because he felt they were selfish and had many bad habits. Jim-soon is the only person who knows the secret that Tae-san is an angel. Old lady Jim-soon advises her nephew to go find his own happiness. After all, times are peaceful and there are no demons. And especially, he should start exercising and losing weight. Tae-san shakes his head in dismay, saying he's been training for 5,000 years and hasn't lost a pound. Suddenly, an old man appears, scolding Tae-san for being disrespectful to his elders. Eventually, Tae-san reveals that the old man used to be the kid who peed his pants in the neighborhood. The old man is shocked to recognize Tae-san and asks why he still looks so young. The news is reporting that a ton of artifacts have been discovered at a redevelopment construction site, believed to be from the Paleolithic era. They're excavating pottery and all sorts of ancient artifacts along the sediment layers, especially minerals with shapes and particles that are hard to date. The discovery is attracting attention from the academic community because of its research value, and the excavated artifacts will be further investigated by the National Heritage Research Institute. Scientists are detecting extremely strong fluctuations in the subsediment layer, but can't figure out what's going on. At the same time, a group of people in black clothing, their identities unknown, are gathered in a cave, doing some shady business. Blood touching the stone instantly lights it up. They report that they've found the whereabouts of someone named OGWI. On the other hand, Tae-san buys a bunch of delicious food to bring home to his siblings, but no one answers him. Tae-san puts the money he just collected into a secret vault, filled with gold bars and huge amounts of cash. He probably won't use it all in 3 generations. After centuries of making money through high-interest loans, the Angel Group must be making a fortune. The black-robed cult is summoning all its followers to the cave. The leader drops his blood into the boiling water. Instantly, the moon turns blood red, a sure sign of bad things to come. This dude isn't just some random guy. When he uses his hands to unleash his powers, they blast into the stone. One of his followers tries to stop him, warning him not to go through with the ritual, that it's too dangerous. But the leader says he can't wait any longer and pours all his energy into the rock. Dust and dirt are flying everywhere. The ground is shaking like crazy, and green flashes of light are going wild before shattering. From the dust emerges this towering figure. It's the demon, OGWI, with red eyes and massive, huge black wings. He's reborn, back from the dead, and more powerful than ever. At the same time, Tae-san is sitting around, thinking about what old lady Jiam-soon said. When all is said and done, he's still an angel, and the job of an angel is to protect people. In fact, for hundreds of years, the 12 gods have been living peacefully among humans, hiding in human form and secretly helping mankind. Myrrh and Tae-san live in a small village and often visit the market. One day, they come across a thug bullying the villagers. He's pushing around the men and even trying to kidnap a young girl to make her his mistress. Tae-san is disgusted and tells his follower to wait while he steps in. With just a few basic moves, he scares the living daylights out of the thugs. Then, two guys try to sneak up on Tae-san from behind, but Myrrh, standing at a distance, uses her magic to blow them back 10 feet. The villagers are astonished, not understanding how the girl's hand could create such a powerful wind. The head thug, scared out of his mind, kneels down and begs for forgiveness, promising never to cause trouble or bully anyone at the market again. After the incident, the villagers bring food and wine to Tae-san's mansion to thank the gang for their help, a small token of their gratitude. After the party is over, they drop from exhaustion and end up drinking and eventually falling asleep without realizing it. Later, Tae-san wakes up to find a bonfire raging outside, and the villagers are preparing to burn Myrrh alive. Turns out, after witnessing Myrrh blow away the thugs with her hand, the villagers think she's a witch. They drugged the wine and secretly planned to eliminate her, believing she was an evil spirit who came to Earth to bewitch and kill them. They're saying horrible things and are about to set her on fire. Luckily, Tae-san arrives just in time to stop them, and he pulls out the stake, sending the villagers scattering in fear. That's the true nature of humanity. For thousands of years, Tae-san vowed that as long as he lived, he would never interfere in human affairs again. But now he's in turmoil, unsure of what to do. Back in the cave, the cult has successfully summoned the evil spirit. His name is OGWI, and he's got massive wings. Just looking at him is terrifying. The cult leader reveals that he's been searching for OGWI for thousands of years and has exhausted his strength, awakening him. The cult leader wants to borrow OGWI's ultimate power to take on the angel group, but OGWI grabs him by the throat to let him know who's in charge. OGWI lets him know who the true owner of this power is. The next morning, 3 of the gods get together to exercise and improve their health. Unorthodox, in his role as the pig god, spends more time lying down than working out. Instead of trying to exercise, he convinces his 2 friends to go have a big breakfast. To Unorthodox, food is the best thing in the world. However, if anyone calls him a pig, he gets offended. The 2 girls give up and continue running. Kong-ji is still wearing the rope around her neck, just in case she needs to protect people someday. Malsuk tells her that the gates of hell are sealed, the world is at peace, and not to think so negatively. On the other hand, Unorthodox goes to the park and sits down to eat a hearty breakfast. He checks his horoscope, and it says today is an unlucky day, easy to cause conflict with others. He turns to the right and sees a dog barking loudly. Because he can understand the thoughts of animals, Unorthodox knows the dog is calling him a pig. Overwhelmed with anger, he stands up ready to throw down. The dog's owner is too busy listening to music to notice anything. Fortunately, his friends arrive to break up the fight. Otherwise, the dog might have gotten hurt. So he is a big eater, but he will go to war if you call him fat. Elsewhere, OGWI starts to explore the human community in modern times. Coincidentally, he and Myrrh pass each other, but quickly lose sight of one another. He recalls thousands of years ago when the evil spirits fought against the 12 angels in a battle to the death. They had to sacrifice their power to steal the evil spirits. He was charged with opposing God and destroying the world, so he was imprisoned at the gates of hell forever. That evening, the angel group gathers for a lively meal, except for the leader and Myrrh. They seem to have assimilated into human form, and both their lifestyle and way of thinking are becoming more and more like ordinary people. Bang will excitedly shows off that she's made a citizen ID card. Photos taken from distant ancient times are still kept by the angel group, and from time to time they bring them out to look at the memories and poke fun at each other and laugh. On the other hand, Myrrh is at a bar alone, not participating with her friends. She is always haunted by a dream of a faceless man in a dark cave. Only the back of him is visible, but the feeling makes her suffocate with fear. Suddenly, a young man sees a beautiful woman sitting and drinking, so he starts flirting with her, talking about everything under the sun, but he can't win over the beauty. One guy isn't enough, so another comes to bother her. Myrrh gets annoyed and gets up to leave, casually beating up the 2 lustful guys for harassing girls. OGWI sits on the railing, looking at how the modern world has changed and developed. Only 1,000 years of sealing, and humans are building this thriving world. He asks Samine what he's been doing all this time, why he hasn't destroyed the world. What is the purpose of leaving this thriving world here? Samine confesses that since the gates of hell closed, he has lost all his power. He's been living a miserable existence, just trying to find OGWI. Only OGWI can fight the angels and turn this world into hell. Samine uses a lot of seductive words to say there is a way to upgrade OGWI's power. He knows OGWI can sense the energy of heat. He witnessed the day that heat was killed by the angels, and he left behind 3 soul stones. Once they collect all 3 stones and transfer their energy into the soul of the dragon, which monitors the energy of angels and demons, OGWI can revive heat's power. Of course, Samine is a cunning old fox who always puts his own interests first. He does all of this because he desperately craves immortality. OGWI agrees to cooperate and warns Samine not to play any tricks, or his head will be separated from his body before he gets immortality. With that, OGWI spreads his wings and disappears into the night. The next morning, the angel group gets together to eat fried chicken. The leader, Tayan, is absent because he's busy collecting debt from the owner of a car shop. The gang is sitting around playing games. They all let Tayan to the hard jobs. Tayan is a pretty good creditor. He cares for them. He still leaves them a pocket full of money, chatting with them gently, unlike those of them who like to make him flex his muscles to get paid. Tayan gets in the car to take his medicine, but he's out of pills. He calls his doctor, makes an appointment, and asks for more medicine. Recently, Tayan has been experiencing chest tightness, shortness of breath, and declining health. It seems that the treatment isn't helping at all. The doctor just keeps talking about his abilities, ignoring the patient's complaints. Tayan shoves a wad of cash into the doctor's mouth to keep him from talking so much. Now, he just needs a peaceful sleep and more medicine to take. Back at the hideout, the bad guys are plotting to eliminate OGWI. At first, they plan to wake him up to use his power against the angels, but OGWI is not easy to control. He even threatened to tear Samine apart if he dared to play any tricks. Even so, OGWI is the only one who can find the 3 power stones. If the gates of hell don't open, they will die slowly. Samine orders a change of plans. He then transfers dark spiritual energy into his followers. Their eyes change to a scary color, and they leave the hideout. Instantly, the policeman's necklace and all the angels' necklaces start to glow. This signals that evil spirits have risen after thousands of years of sleep. Everyone is panicked because they have lost their divine power and are no different from ordinary human beings. So, how can they fight against demons? The gang calls the Tayan leader to inform him of the situation, but he doesn't answer. The situation is urgent, and each person divides up the tasks and takes action. On the other hand, Samine continues to drop blood into the boiling water, which hisses and bubbles. Police officer Myrrh tries to contact Myrrh, but he can't get through. She is at the museum meeting with colleagues. After work, Myrrh plans to take the car back home, but she has a feeling someone is following her. Sure enough, evil spirits are surrounding her from all sides. Myrrh uses her powers to blow away the goons, but it's not enough. There are too many of them, and she's quickly overwhelmed. Luckily, the angel group arrives in a car just in time to rescue her. Samine is watching the whole thing through the lens of the water bowl. The good guys and bad guys clash in a wild fight. The evil spirits are like puppets controlled by a huge source of power. They're bloodthirsty and relentless, determined to destroy their prey. On the other hand, the angel group has lost all their power and are just an ordinary people. No matter how skilled they are in martial arts, they're no match for demons. Everyone's getting beaten to a pulp, but they're still holding their ground. It's clear that the main target of the bad guys is Myrrh, and everyone is trying to stop them, even though they can barely take care of themselves. Suddenly, police officer Myrrh arrives in a car to help. Can he change the situation? The gang brings the necklace to the Tayan leader. They're worried about their teammates, whose fates are unknown. On the evil side, OGWI is standing on the top floor, his eyes turning red. He must be able to feel the rising of the demons tonight. The gang is fighting the cult to the death. They're possessed by evil spirits, like puppets, knowing only how to kill. They won't stop until their prey is dead. Everyone's exhausted, but luckily, police officer Myrrh arrives just in time. Myrrh pulls out his powerful staff and kicks the cult's butt. Everyone's injured, so it's best to get out of here as soon as possible. Myrrh casts a spell to make the cult members stand still. The angel group takes the opportunity to help each other run away. Elsewhere, OGWI is standing on the rooftop, his eyes turning red. Even from 10 miles away, he can clearly see everything in the car park. OGWI mumbles that it's been a long time since he's seen old acquaintances. The leader, Samine, knows that his gang's power is being suppressed, so he lifts the seal for them through the lens. Suddenly, one of them attacks Myrrh by surprise, but luckily, he's okay. All of the cult members are quickly unsealed and resume their attack. The gods are no match for the demons, so it's best to go home and recover. Myrrh uses his staff to try to suppress the cult again, but he fails. Samine uses magic to summon them back to the hideout. Myrrh tries to hold one of them back to see what's going on. The police officer is shocked to learn that these cult members are controlled by Samine. The gang wonders if the demons of the past have been reborn. They feel a very familiar wave of evil energy. Myrrh is afraid the others will worry, so he reassures them that he will investigate further. He tells everyone to go home and bandage their wounds. Tayan is worried because he can't contact his gang. Seeing everyone injured makes the boss feel bad. Myrrh immediately calls Tayan to another room to talk privately. Bangwul is an oriental medicine doctor who normally collects rare herbs, so she brings them all out to treat her friends. Some have bruises and others have broken bones. Min scans her wrist and, finding nothing wrong, asks for permission to go out first. The white-haired youth takes the opportunity to go into the medicine cabinet to explore the precious herbs. After looking around, he gathers some tasty dried items, intending to bring them back. As a result, the white hair foams at the mouth because of the crime of eating, putting anything in his mouth. Herbs are used for treatment and have toxins that should not be underestimated. The portly man gets treatment and blows off his button. One Song clumsily adjusts the massager, almost getting a shock. Dr. Bangwul throws her hands up with these naughty patients. Suddenly, Tayan comes to ask how his gang is injured. Afraid that they'll be in danger, Tayan hides the cult thing from them. However, everyone wonders where they came from and if the demons of thousands of years ago have been reborn. But when the gates of hell closed, the seal of evil spirits also caused the power of the angels to disappear. Now, if they have to fight in the form of an ordinary human being, they're sure to die. Everyone is panicked but still determined to protect humanity. Boss Tayan is still holding onto the grudge from the past, believing that humans are selfish, evil, and cruel. They have protected the world for thousands of years, only to finally receive betrayal and divine neglect. Tayan vowed not to protect humans anymore and just wants to keep his angel family safe. Kangji protests and advises her boss to change his mind. The group argues fiercely about the threat of demons and the mission to protect humanity. Police officer Myrrh speaks up to ease the tension, while inviting One Song out for a few drinks. They all feel that the conversation was too stressful. Tayan doesn't hate humans overnight. It is difficult to change that thinking in an instant. On the other hand, Kangji is the most sympathetic to humans, so she is eager to protect them. Myrrh cleverly says, Tayan is cold on the outside but warm on the inside. In fact, he also wants to find out about the demon affair, but is shy to speak up. In the future, One Song is likely to inherit and become the boss. Why not take this opportunity to investigate the demon reincarnation on behalf of Tayan? At the same time, the tiger god quietly opens the secret door leading to the tunnel. This place used to be the grave of the angels. The angel group had 12 people, but 4 members sacrificed themselves after the battle to the death. Myrrh uses his staff to turn his teammates to stone, to ensure their bodies remain intact. Everyone is heartbroken, especially the leader, Tayan. He blames himself for not protecting the angel family as their leader. That's why, in the present, Tayan is very afraid of losing more of his brothers and teammates. Suddenly, Myrrh approaches and reveals that the one who awakened the demon is Samine. Angels exist in this world to bear the responsibility of protecting humanity. No matter how Myrrh advises him, Tayan stubbornly refuses to listen. He refuses to save humanity and only wants to protect the angel group safely. While saying that, Tayan brings a large amount of money to the sidewalk shop to buy back the stall, while warning the old couple to leave here because it will be dangerous soon. On the other hand, Myrrh agrees to return home to support her teammates. The next morning, Kangji goes for a run, but still thinks about the argument she had with Tayan yesterday. She wants the boss to protect them and they'll go help the people. One Song takes the equipment and wanders around, searching for demons. When he presses the switch, the surrounding area will be blue. If anything unusual is detected, the screen will automatically show an orange dot. One Song boasts that he has to participate in breaking up the drug trafficking ring. In fact, he's wandering in the forest looking for traces of demons, but no orange dots appear. At home, Dr. Bangwul is bored and practicing archery, but she's using the portly guy as target practice, causing the youth to pee his pants. It's a good thing she's a good shot. Otherwise, Du and I would have been injured a lot. Police officer Myrrh goes to the National Research Institute because they reported a theft. Among the excavated artifacts, they discovered that a black stone was missing. Other than that, nothing else was lost. Suddenly, One Song calls to complain that he wandered around in the forest forever and didn't find any demons. Myrrh encourages his teammate that this is where the evil spirits first appeared in the past. If you want to become Tayan's successor, you have to sacrifice, work hard, and suffer hardships. With that, The police officer sweet-talks Wonsong to get the youth to investigate diligently. The two keep this a secret and don't tell any of the members of the angel group. The old couple brings the money and plane tickets to return to Tayan. No matter how dangerous it is, they don't want to leave the sidewalk shop. The old woman begins to reminisce about the events of decades ago. At that time, a group of thugs specialized in bullying the small business owners in the market. They pressured them to clear the area in order to take over the land. Seeing that persuasion didn't work, they turned to strong measures, smashing everything. The angel group found out and insisted that the boss handle the trouble. Tayan wanted to help the people, but in the end, he still acted out of a sense of justice. With just a few basic moves, he quickly beat the thugs to a pulp. The old woman and her 3 children looked at Tayan with grateful eyes. Under the halo, Tayan appears like a god. The sidewalk shop was left by her mother, so Soon is determined not to give it up. The old woman hopes that Tayan will continue to protect people in the way that he used to. At the same time, the sisters invite Myrrh to volunteer at the orphanage. Myrrh apologizes for separating and living alone for the past time, and not being with everyone. Suddenly, she sees a hallucination of her teammates being seriously injured, foreshadowing bad luck. On the rooftop, OGWI is holding the black stone that he stole from the museum. Samine once revealed that on the day the angel destroyed Haite, he left behind 3 soul stones. Find the 3 stones and blow them into the soul of the dragon, the one who is said to manage the energy of angels and demons. In this way, OGWI can revive Haite's ultimate power. Now, the black fruit already has 1 stone in hand. He's about to level up as his power will soon be out of control. The origin of Haite is also quite special. Thousands of years ago, Haite was just a kid who was always trailing after the tiger god. Even though Tayan was annoyed because he didn't know who he was, Myrrh explained that the boy was created by God and had the power characteristics of the 12 angels. Haite was most like the tiger god, so he often followed him around. Later, he will take on the responsibility of protecting the world like the angels. Tayan was initially uncomfortable, but gradually developed a close relationship with Haite. Over the years, he has grown up and sees Tayan as his boss. The tiger god reminds his teammates to remember that their existence is to protect people. Both sides fought side by side through countless fierce battles. Back in the present, the angel group gathers at the group home. Bangwol brings Duanai out to practice shooting all day long. The others also return after a long day of volunteering at the orphanage. Only Wonsong wanders around in the forest searching for traces of demons, but hasn't found anything. The whole group enjoys the delicious fried chicken. They celebrate Myrrh's return. It's been a long time since the angel group has had so many members. Whitehair takes the prize money he won and shares it with his teammates. They have long lifespans, so they need money to live like humans. Wonsong boasts that if anyone needs help in the future, just contact him directly. The youth is probably still thinking of succeeding Tayan as the leader. Recently, they haven't seen any demons bothering people, so everyone feels a little more at ease. Suddenly, police officer Myrrh visits, and he wants to talk to Tayan privately. The tiger god is passed out drunk and drowned in alcohol every day. He often has nightmares and sees everything collapsing again. Tayan wakes up startled, still feeling panicked and fearful. Myrrh shows his teammate a video extracted from the National Museum. That night, it was OGWI who broke in and stole the black stone. As soon as he touched the spirit stone, his heart immediately lit up. This proves that he and the stone have a power connection. They guess that Samine awakened OGWI and persuaded him to take the stone. First and foremost, they can't let Myrrh make contact and fall into their hands. In addition, they must quickly find the hiding place of the cult group, rather than be passive and respond and sit and wait to die. On the other hand, Samine, with his old face, is absent-mindedly recalling the day when Haite was destroyed by the tiger god. Samine's body was broken and demonic, and he lost all his strength and was breathing weakly. He lay motionless, seeing the 3 stones that Haite left behind. OGWI appeared, mocking Samine for not knowing how to smile in his entire life. His ugly face was always wrinkled and uninteresting. If he smiled, OGWI might be happy and speed up the collection of the 3 spirit stones. The two go to the rooftop to catch some wind. The black crow uses its red eyes to see thousands of miles away and to sense the location of the stones. The next morning, at the junkyard, a worker accidentally unearths a glowing stone. Before he can collect himself, the cult members have already appeared. The worker quickly lost his life at the hands of the cultists. Certainly, last night, the black crow used his divine eyes to find the location of the stone. Coincidentally, Wonsong is wandering near that area when he sees the screen display an orange dot. Wonsong immediately runs following the map. On the other hand, Malsuk and Myrrh solo hand-to-hand combat. As soon as Myrrh raises her hand, a powerful force blows her opponent away. Malsuk is curious because all her teammates have lost their power. Only Myrrh still has magic, truly worthy of being called the Dragon God. She feels relieved because at least there is still someone in the group with the power of a god. After that, the two of them go for an ice cream. Malsuk thinks that with police officer Myrrh as their companion, they don't have to worry about the demons running wild. However, Myrrh is just an ordinary human being, he just has a powerful staff. Although he didn't say it, he expended a lot of energy the last time he faced the cult group. It is still unknown where the demons came from and how big their scale are. Malsuk is curious to know what Myrrh dreamed about that made her want to leave her teammates and live separately. Myrrh is silent, seemingly not wanting to reveal her dream. On the side of Duanai and Bangwol, they are a close couple at the Oriental Medicine Clinic. Bangwol prepares a type of herb that temporarily enhances strength to deal with demons. However, when the medicine wears off, the body has to endure terrible pain. Duanai was initially hesitant, but the medicine smelled so good that he just stuffed it in his pocket. Myrrh says that tonight he will hold a meeting to inform the group of the situation. He reveals that it was Samine who awakened OGWI, but it is not yet clear what they plan to do. Tayan calls Myrrh into the room and asks if she has met anyone strange recently. The cult group attacked a few days ago, and it's clear that their target was Myrrh. Tayan will investigate to see what the bad guys are planning. To ensure safety, Myrrh should stay home with everyone. She trembles slightly, remembering the dream that has haunted her for so long. In the dream, Myrrh enters a cave and sees a faceless man. He exudes a terrifying aura, and the angel group is severely injured. Myrrh is worried that one day she will implicate her friends. Song is still wandering in the forest, searching for the demon's hideout. After a long day of sweating, the youth sees the actions of the cult group and secretly follows them. Somehow, they entered the tunnel and disappeared in the blink of an eye without a trace. This passage must contain a secret barrier that not everyone knows how to enter. The tiger god looks at the wall engraved with the zodiac symbol, his heart aching, remembering old memories. At that time, Myrrh softly begged her boss not to kill the demon. But in the end, out of hatred and to protect humanity, the tiger god personally took action to eliminate him. While he is thinking, Song runs back to report the situation. I found the hiding place of Samine and the Black Crow. We need to plan a response before it's too late. At the hideout, the two villains celebrate their victory because they have found 2 spirit stones. Only the last stone and the dragon spirit in Myrrh are needed. By merging the two, Hate's ultimate power will completely belong to OGWI. The Black Crow is worried because the mountain in the way is called the Tiger God. Tayan is always by Myrrh's side, so it won't be easy to snatch her. Samine reveals that the angel group has lost all its power since sealing the gates of hell. Moreover, the Tiger God, although cold, also has a weakness. The next morning, the two secretly set off to find the demons and didn't tell their teammates. Tayan is afraid that they will put themselves in danger, and tells Myrrh to closely follow behind. The Tiger God doesn't realize that the cult group knows his weakness and is ambushing the old couple, Jiamsoon and her husband. Their faces are covered, their eyes turning black, which is very scary. Immediately, the glowing stone signals that evil spirits are running wild. The gang calls to report that they need to get to the sidewalk shop urgently. The Tiger God is very close to the dark barrier, but has to turn the car around to provide support. It turns out that this is all an insidious plan by the cult group to lure the angel into a trap. The poor old couple is being beaten up. The old man bravely rushes to rescue his wife, but he is no match for the cult group. They just sneezed, and the old man lay still. Jiamsoon takes the opportunity to run to the train station to call the police. While running, Jiamsoon yells that there are demons, but no one pays attention to the nonsense. The cult group chases closely, determined not to let go of their prey. She runs for her life and temporarily locks herself in the bathroom, praying to God to survive the disaster. Her hands shaking, she dials the police phone, afraid that even a small sound will reveal her location. Meanwhile, outside, Tayan has arrived to rescue the old man. Knowing that Jiamsoon is at the train station, he immediately goes to rescue her. At the moment of crisis, fortunately, Uncle Tayan arrived in time. He asks Myrrh to take Jiamsoon away first, and he will stay and fight. Somehow, the cult group is everywhere, like ants not letting their prey escape. The angel group appears, opening a bloody path for their teammates to run away. Malsuk and Duanai stay to block the way, but are soon defeated. The enemy is too numerous, and they have lost all their power and can't resist the demons. One of them stays to watch, while the rest continue to chase the Jiamsoon group. They are cornered, and it is feared that this trip will be more dangerous than good. The cult group deliberately separates them to capture the dragon god, Myrrh. Samine leads his men to break the barrier and rushes in like a hungry tiger. At the moment, there are only Myrrh and Dr. Bangwol at home. They stand ready in a fighting stance to face the enemy. Bangwol draws his bow and aims straight at the faces of the villains. Now, the angel group is about to face a battle to the death, and the chances of winning seem too low. recalling the memory from decades ago when the Angel Group helped Jiamsoon's mother and her child. From the day the thugs were punished, they didn't dare to bully the small business owners in the market. Jiamsoon is extremely grateful for the life-saving grace of the Angel Group. Especially when Jiamsoon was younger, she idolized Tae-san. She drew Tae-san as a bright star in the night sky. The tiger god is cold and taciturn on the outside, but his kind nature still secretly helps people. The gang discussed that it had been a long time since they had seen their boss communicate openly with humans, at least for nearly 100 years. Jiamsoon pressed them and learned that the benefactor who saved her entire family was Tae-san.